Oh, well, first things first, I think I'd like to introduce you to the Joby Gorilla Pod, or whatever it's called, my sexy new flexi tripod. Yeah, got this for my birthday. Fucking dog. Come on, take the way. Mistake. Olive oil, 150 mils. So we do have caster sugar. Sorry, I got it wrong. We've got caster sugar after all. Weighing scales, get the whales out. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Best vanilla extract. Best vanilla extract. Sainsbury's, taste the difference. Vanilla extract. Yeah. Drinking coconut oil, banana, egg yolk, bit of natural yogurt smoothie, because I'm on a bit of a health kick at the moment. We've been off for Easter. Or should we leave the dead orchids, the dead orchid stems in the foreground? There's a little bit of busyness and action. I think we'll take them away. So, baking this olive oil cake for Mum is first priority of the day that I want to get out of the way, because I'm living here. I did pay board when I was working, but with studying I haven't been paying board. I mean, I don't spend loads of time here because I spend a lot of time at Declan's house. Boiling water, cocoa powder, in a bowl. Favorite cocoa powder there. Young droogies. So I can put that. Oh, shitting dog bowl. Eye level. Remember that from science. You've got to pour to eye level. Oh shit, that's too much. Well, I can just pour less in the bowl, can't I? Recently, I heard that there was like vlogging is becoming a thing of the past in favour of like live vlogging. So people now are just like carrying a camera around with them and vlogging like streaming live anywhere, and people, you know, these like YouTube personalities, people are watching them. And what I'm thinking about is, I mean, I'm currently nurturing a situation which you know, for in time will all be revealed. A little bit like a Sophie Cal artwork, right? So it involves strangers and social media and contact and kind of illicit circumstances, seediness, and you know, the things, what lies beneath people. And I was thinking about, because I personally, I'm doing this mainly to write, like mainly to get writing material, because I'm writing a book about sort of sexuality. Well, I'm writing a book because I've got like diary logs of my crushes and stuff from being a teen, and I have crushes a lot, and it's basically going to be a huge book, but I don't know if it's going to work out as a book yet. But either way, there's a lot of material and I need to generate more for my own sanity as well, because I guess like I've been in a monogamous relationship for 7+ years, and at the age of tender age of 25. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, if I were a writer, I would be engaging in this stuff as research. If I were a musician, a songwriter, I would be engaging in this stuff as research. As a conceptual artist, you can just present the documentation. And this is one of the things which I think contemporary art kind of like. Okay, so there's value in documentation, but like, and I love the dryness of Sophie Cal's artwork, especially in the way that's presented. It's wonderful. But I personally wonder, you know, what would have happened if she'd made like a really sensual film. I mean, I'm not wondering, you know, if she'd have made it, because she doesn't need to, and I'm sure a lot of people have done since that I'm unaware of, because that's what it's like in art. But the thing is, yeah, the conceptual art, you would just present the documentation. And this is one of the things like art is so, because we've got an easy job, because we don't have to do anything, because we can just present life and say, oh, well, that was art, this was art, that's the documentation in a fucking white cube. It's absurd when you think about it. It is like absurd. Like no wonder. I mean, you only know this shit if you go to art school. I mean, on that note, and I saw the best thing ever the other day. I saw this thing, right? I saw this open call for, it's 100 years since Duchamp's urinal, and somebody, like some legend has made a Kimberly Clark toilet residency in honour of the 100-year anniversary of Fountain. And it's basically, there's an open call and you can submit your artwork. I'll put a link to it because it's great, but basically like you submit your work and it gets printed on toilet paper or a paper towel in an undisclosed men's bathroom somewhere, and it's like that, like, yeah, I just love that. Anyway, because I was depressed, I was getting depressed again at the beginning of this year after an up period. I was getting really depressed, and I tried to suffocate myself with a pillow at one point, and then I wrote a really good piece of writing about it. So I've acknowledged, you know, that, and that was a bit of a wake up call. And Dex said to me at the time, like, you've got to fucking fight. Like, I went out to doctors, gave me antidepressants, didn't take them. She's like, you've got to fight. Like, you've got to be your fucking warrior self inside. And this is like part of like the problem with this is that message is so competitive and individualistic and capitalist, that you've got to fight and like be the best and like get buff and fucking get the career and work, bitch. In essence, like, you've got to work, bitch. You can't just like be a little worm sitting around in your fucking worm suit all day feeling sorry for yourself. It's like, obviously, if you sit around, if you wake up low, so low that you can't move and it's hurting in your heart, and then you like just stay that way. I mean, because it does take a lot of willpower to get out of that state. But if you stay that way, you just feed it and it just gets worse and you just get actually depressed. And there's a really good video as well that I'll link up. It's called it's about the black dog, and it's a World Health Organisation one, and it's basically, it uses the metaphor of a black dog. But I think we've all got our own black dog. There's this little shit basically that exists in our mind or soul or heart or anywhere, and it barks in your head and gives you shit and mutters stuff to you, and then it grows so big that it just sits on your chest. But you can learn how to chain that fucker up. You can learn how to tame it, put it out in the kennel, whatever. It's always there, but you've got to learn. If you're going to have a good life, like, you're not alive for long, you might as well be alive. If you're not feeling suicidal, like, you might as well, because you just might as well, because I know the world's daft, but anyway, that's not the point. Yeah, basically, I decided to fight. Okay. Back to health kick. So yes, one of the things I've found was that I am iron deficient, which is why I'm tired all the time, which is also a factor in why I was getting depressed again, as well as the pot habit, but we won't go there. I'm a hedonist, what can I say, and that was my iron tablet, and this is a vitamin D, because it's very important to take your vitamin D, especially in this country. One of the other things I was going to say about the tendency in conceptual art to research and not be romantic and not be like, yeah, I'm going to make this into a fucking beautiful, sexy film that makes people feel something. It's like, I'm just going to stick some like screenshots on a wall. And I think that, yeah, there's a lot to be said for that. And I love Sophie Call's work, so I'm not dissing work that is dry, or like that is subtle and you have to sort of go to it rather than be seduced by it. But I'm saying, I think that shouldn't be the like catch-all. We talk about art in such dry, actually lofty and lofty bullshitty terms, like We say things like coloration rather than colour. We say everything's interesting. But I don't want interesting. I want a song which moves you, and which is why high art is suspicious of things that move you, because that's the purpose of low culture and popular culture and popular music. You know, it uses all these frigging, pulls on your heartstrings and apes out all these cliches about love and desire and romance. Whereas high art is like, oh well, we're better than that. We don't stoop to those sexual or bodily. I mean, because if you think about it, there's intellectual pleasure. Which is what a lot of art people obviously are into. Then there's sapiosexuals, which those terms I've come across. Yeah, they are interested in things intellectually. And they don't want to like. People generally are suspicious, but in contemporary art, of feeling and immediacy and urgency and all this stuff. Anyway, yeah, I've been becoming a real human being since that last video, because that's the only way you can like exist and survive in this world, with a bit of self-esteem rather than total like. And it's nice to think, yeah, I'm gonna like just. I don't want to be a self. I don't want to be an individual capitalist competing subject who like works out, and I've been working out as well. That's another thing. Who exercises for my own sense of well-being, and who practices mindfulness or meditation or switching off my computer. But I'm a person that needs it. And like I say, I'm a hedonist. I am one of the people who, like in Socrates' analogy, okay, there are people who have their like jars and they fill up their wine and they just like sip it and it's fine, it's cool. That's temperance, moderation, chill, basically. They've got their shit sorted. And then there's the leaky jar folk, so you'll have like your vessel with which you go get the wine. And I mean, Greeks used to dilute wine with honey and water, in fact, so they didn't actually, you know, the whole Dionysian Greek feast thing, it's like the wine probably wasn't even as strong. Well, it wasn't even as strong as it is now, unless it was stronger, but anyway. The leaky jar folk, like me, and anybody who's a hedonist or a glutton or an addict, is, what do you call it? So your jar is leaky, okay? So it's leaky, right? So you try and fill it up, but it just leaks. It just leaks. You get the idea. You know, if I was a filmmaker, I might slip in a little. Rather than saying that there. Oh, I could use that image in a film actually. You know, you could have a shot at the beginning of a scene of a jar that's leaking, or you know, two buckets or something outside, and one of them's leaking and one of them's not. And that would be that scene. I think I'm going to do that actually. That's really naff, but we'll look out for that in the future when I make this into a proper film. One of the reasons I decided to do this was I thought it fitted quite nicely with the fact that. So I've been teaching on the Leeds College of Art Foundation now since about October. And that's not a job yet, like I've been doing a PGCE, so if people are thinking that I'm now a high flyer, it ain't the case. I've very nearly finished, got loads of assignments to do, but the teaching side is awesome and hopefully I'll get a job and better earning potential for the rest of my life come the end of it. But I don't think our education will be around for much longer by the looks of it, but not in this country anyway, but I can certainly go off elsewhere and leave this rainy fascist island sinking ship to sink into the North Sea and Atlantic Ocean. No, I don't really want that. I really like Britain, but I mean, I'm not a patriot in any way because I don't agree with nation states. I'm a patriot in the sense that I want the place to be a nice place to live for everybody, and I'm not going to get into that now. Anyways, A pale primrose, aerated, thickened cream. That Nigella, who's written that right, is pale primrose, aerated, thickened cream. Pale primrose, aerated and thickened cream. A pale I'm going back down to the 150ml level again now. A pale primrose, aerated and thickened cream. Wow. I should have got all dressed up like Nigella. Like I should have been all like voluptuous and sexy, but I'm in my pyjamas still. I haven't put my human suit on yet, everybody. A pale primrose, aerated and thickened. Pale primrose, aerated, thickened cream. A pale primrose, aerated, thickened cream. This bowl, this leaky jar with this hole in the middle there, you see, won't hold, it simply won't hold all the ground almonds that I've got in this bowl. I'm getting a little bit like Nigella with these innuendos, aren't I? So I'm going to gradually pour the chocolate mix, which is, and you will have the link to the recipe in the thing, or just Google Nigella chocolate olive oil cake. I can't be asked to find you the link. I'm going to just stir that in. I didn't have any greaseproof paper, so I had to, I looked up alternatives to greaseproof paper, and rather than using foil, it said to put, grease as normal, and then like sift some flour into it, so it creates like a paste that it's not going to stick to. So now I'm pouring the, oh, I don't want the shadow in the shot, do I? Don't want the shadow in the frame. Oh, that's quite a sexy shadow there, that's my arm, like, oh yes, sexy cookery tutorial. It just doesn't come naturally to me. I mean, but I'm working on it, because I think this is one of the, as I say, this is one of the things that you have to learn to be as an adult woman in the world. Like, you have to learn how to, rather than being repressed and just, feeling like, Jesus, I'm here and my body's sexualised, and just like, sort of own your sexuality, because otherwise you'll just end up, yeah, you do end up repressed. I mean, if I was showing this in an art crit, nobody would be, what we'd be talking about, we wouldn't be talking about how it made us feel, because that would be kind of creepy, to be fair. Like, there's the distinction between, there's the intellectual and there's the emotional, and there's the pornographic, which exists to arouse sexual arousal, and that's why when things, it's like, it's pornographic, people say that if they get sexually aroused by something, which shows that not necessarily the thing itself is sexually arousing, it's just like, for whatever reason, there's some taboo, or there's a repressed desire there. And for me, I mean, we'd probably be talking about what does it mean when a young woman adopts the guise of a YouTube cookery tutorial to introduce such concepts as Socrates' leaky jar, Britney's work bitch as a kind of capitalist, individualist anthem, all the while wearing the pyjamas, infantile look with the wimple on, and how has it been set up, and why has it been filmed in the kitchen, and blah 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 blah. But really, this is just to go on YouTube. Like, but I wouldn't present this as a work in a show. No, I would if someone asked me to, obviously. Please ask me to, please put my work in a show. Please come to me, because I really struggle with the whole like application, self-promo shit. Everyone's blagging it, right? Everyone's blagging it. So I think in a lot of ways it's just about saying I'm an artist. Like, obviously I'm talking about success, and it's like, well, why do we even want success? What even is individual distinction? But I don't think it's so much success as just like, there's a fine balance between pursuing success in an individualist way and like pursuing some personal journey satisfaction to give your life meaning, rather than being a worm who hates yourself and feels suppressed, or feels has impaired functioning, or is debilitated by insecurity in a black dog of some form. Because I'm ambitious, I am, but I'm not ambitious in a materialistic money way, but who am I kidding? Like, artists that somehow think they're better, and they're like radical, they're like lefties as well, somehow think they're better for like making something that, like, engaging in the production of things which are sold for a high value and are investment, and things which are like commodifiable, but they do it with criticality, so it's like it's okay. But I mean, we're all fucking capitalist pigs, really, and until we all stop making our own art and having our own YouTube channels, and until we like work collectively and disavow the need for personal expression and acknowledgement and distinction from peers, that's the only way it could be, really. What was I saying? In a crate, we would be critically dissecting. We would be critically dissecting. This is a little bit of a leaky jet. I know it's not. It might be. We would be critically dissecting the ins and outs of this. I've been having life coaching free from my mate's mum. I'm going tomorrow morning. But life coaching, far from being like, you're gonna get the house and the car, it's more like you're gonna find a way to exist on this earth that brings you some greater satisfaction. So then you are better placed to help the cause, whatever the cause is. I think the cause is dead, to be fair. Like, I don't know what the left are thinking, because paradigm shift in the wrong direction has happened, and that's going to be difficult to wind back. It's the meme wars as well, so Adbusters have written about this for years, but there's meme wars. It's just like people, one meme versus another, soundbite versus soundbite. It's all fucked. I'm trying not to read too much about it or weigh myself down with it as an individual, because then I just get depressed and I'm no good to anybody. And I would advise you to do that too, and instead make small man in the mirror changes and positive things, like feeling good in yourself and self-love, and then loving others, and not loving just your family or your partner or your friends, but also somehow physically, actually, really, real life, doing good to mitigate the effects of austerity on people less privileged than you. Back to the cake. It's going to be ready in 45 minutes. And then all that's left is put your feet up and dig in. It's not even that nice. And this ground almond recipe proves that you can have your cake and eat it too.